Economist and Senior Vice President of Research at the National Association of Realtors. He writes regular columns on real estate market trends, creates NAR forecasts, and participates in oops. I'm scripted, and Laura's in the back, and if I mess up, she's got a slingshot. Lawrence participates in many economic forecasting panels, including Blue Chip and the Harvard University Industrial Economist Council. He regularly appears on CNBC, BBC, and Bloomberg TV, and is a frequent speaker at real estate conferences throughout the United States. USA Today recently listed him among the top 5 economic forecasters in the country. Dr. Yun has been with NAR since 2000. Prior to that, he worked as an economic consultant to the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs and the U.S. Department of Education. While a research associate at the University of Maryland for 3 years, Yun developed the graduate economics curriculum for and taught free market economics in the former Soviet Union as that country transitioned from communism to a free market system. Dr. Yun received his undergraduate degree from Purdue University and earned his PhD from the University of Maryland at College Park. Dr. Yun.
We will see that another second surge appearing in the marketplace, and hopefully that second surge is the one that really clearly, definitively get us that price stabilization. Home values have been falling quite sharply in some of the sand states, that is to say Florida, Arizona, Nevada, California market. But recent signs, because buyers start coming back, there's some mixed signal. Sometimes the average price is a little higher, median price is lower, but the declines appears to be lessening. That's one clear sign. And with inventory beginning to fall on a consistent basis, I think it's just a matter of time that we do get price stabilization or even a modest price increase in some of the market which had huge swings. Again, the sand states, including Arizona, I think there was a clear overcorrection. And anytime there's an overcorrection, there could be some room to move up back a little quickly than other markets. So there is that potential. So let's see what has happened. The housing stimulus measure, the tax credit, it was passed. It was passed last February. We did not see any action after its passage. So there was a passage in February. NAR put a huge effort to it. The whole system that was set up by NAR in terms of call to action, the PAC contribution, so all the terrific efforts by NAR leadership team really brought the passage of the bill. Now, during that passage, back in the February of last year, there was many arguments against, particularly from the academia, particularly from the newspaper editorials, and many of the think tanks say, don't do this, don't put a tax credit for the home buyers, but nonetheless, the organized real estate, testing to the power of organized real estate, was able to persuade part of our free speech, free democracy process. Some people say lobbyists are smooth operators in Washington, but this is representing the free speech. People are able to communicate, representing the people throughout the whole country from various parts. And through that we passed, and based upon that, my estimate is that 2 million first-time buyers will be able to claim the credit. And notice this is buyers, home buyers taking credit. This is not a money somehow staying in Washington bureaucracy. This is the money going directly to the middle-class Americans who want to be part of the home ownership. In addition to that, because of the tax credit extension and also expansion, meaning that it's not only for first-time buyers anymore, but also for people who are trading up or even people who are trading down. So as long as people make it into their owner occupancy, many would qualify. I mean, there is some income limitation, so one has to look at all the details behind it. But many people who are either trading up or trading down, they would qualify for the tax credit extension. So we anticipate additional 2.4 million people benefiting from the tax credit. As a result, home sales, conservatively, I estimate to be about 15% boost. So in other words, without the tax credit, home sales would be about 15% less than what you are currently experiencing. And also the prices, I think we are seeing that price stabilization. In fact, prices may have already bottomed, which means that someone who bought a home, say in September and October, come September and October 2010, they may actually see some price gains. So people who have been recent buyers may have already seen that price bottoming already occurred. The one big important part of the story is the stock market, as you know, has seen some spectacular recovery. Many Americans have money in the stock market, 401k, retirement account, but not to the extent that people have money tied to their homes. So for very high wealthy individuals, Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, George Soros, they have huge amount of their wealth in the stock market. Some of us do, some portion of it, but vast middle-class Americans, if one looks at the data, it clearly shows that middle-class Americans have more wealth tied to their homes than in the stock market. So if home values continue to decline in the absence of stimulus or people are just holding back, if home values continue to decline, this is a continuing destruction of middle-class wealth. But now with the buyers coming back to the marketplace, looks like prices beginning to stabilize, this is a preservation of middle-class wealth, primary source of middle-class wealth.